Hello my dearest grade 1, wishing you all happiness. Today we are going to have a new lesson. It is a very nice lesson and you will enjoy it actually. So let's start it together. Our lesson for today is about working in a factory. Working in a factory. Factory. This is the picture of a factory. Factory. Anyone knows it? Factory. The factory is a building in which people use machines to make goods. A building in which people use machines to make goods. This is the factory inside. This is the shape of the factory outside. A building. So the factory is a building in which people use machines to make goods. We have talked about goods before. Goods. Goods are anything that can be sold or bought. Anything that can be sold or bought. Okay? So the goods that we talked about it before are made in the factory. The goods are made in the factory. The factory is a building in which people use machines to make goods. So the toys that we are buying are made in the factory. Different kinds of toys are made in the factory. Also, our home furniture also made in a factory. What else? Our school supplies, your notebook, your pencils, your crayons, everything with the school supplies are made in the factory. Factory. So let's have one of these things and talk about it. What do you think? What you love more? Let's talk about the crayon. Crayon. The crayon is a color pen made of wax. This one, oh, you love crayons. I know that you enjoy your staying at home because you are drawing and coloring with different kinds of color pens. One of these are the crayons. Crayons. The crayon is a color pen made of wax. A color pen. So it's colored. It's not one color, it's many colors. A color pen made of wax. Okay? Okay. So, do you know how the crayon is made in the factory? For me, I don't know. And I think you also don't know. So what about talking today about how are the crayons made in the factory? Excellent. So the crayons are made in the factory. Okay, let's read together about crayons today and where they are made and how they are made. Okay, let's go. How crayons are made. Okay, let's see. This is the crayon. And what is this? Let's read together. First, the factory workers mix hot melted wax and colorings. Okay, what is this? First, notice here when he started his words, he said first. First, okay. The factory workers mix hot melted wax and colorings. So here, as you can see in the picture, they are mixing the wax with the colors. Okay, this is step number 1. Let's go to step number 2. Next, workers pour the hot colored wax into molds to shape the crayons. He said next. So So when he started, he said first, then he said next. Okay, so the molds, do you know about molds? They are the thing they are putting this liquid inside it, and you get this shape at the end. Okay, so they are pouring the hot colored wax into the molds to shape the crayons. Okay, step number 3. Then the molds are cooled with water so that the crayons get hard. Then the molds are cooled with water so that the crayons get hard. Okay, notice here with me, when he started to put the steps into order, he said first, next, then. Okay, wait here a minute. We have step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and we talked before about a chart that shows me how we do anything with the steps. Shows me how we make things with the steps. Do you remember this? Anyone can tell me what is this? Is it a calendar? Is it a table? Is it a flow chart? Is it what? Excellent, it's a flow chart. The flow chart shows me things with the steps. So if I asked you to make a flow chart for the crayons, you will draw steps. We will draw a box. The first box is step number 1, and second box step number 2, and like this. Then when he started talking about step number 1, he said first. Step number 2, he said next. Step number 3, he said then. Okay, so when you start talking about anything or making anything or putting your words into order, you need to say first, next, then. First, next, then. Okay? Okay. Then we have step number 4, and we have step number 5 and step number 6. Okay, if you want to know more about the crayons and how they are made in the factory, go back to your textbook. It's page 290 and read Working in a Factory. It is a very nice lesson. It gives you different ideas. Okay, you can also Google about another thing and how it is made in a factory. You would love this. So go back to your big book, read the lesson, Working in a Factory, study the vocabs. Okay, you will enjoy it. And yeah, till here, it's nice. Okay, hope it's easy for you, grade 1, and hope you are enjoying studying S.S.E. Okay, wishing you all happiness. I hope you are okay and safe at home. Listen to your parents, please. Don't be naughty. Okay, you are my dearest ones. See you soon, grade 1. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. Goodbye.